Welcome to the chat. So right here we are going to be taking a look at how the markets are going to be moving for the week, employing support and resistance, which are otherwise known as the demand and supply or the liquidity concept. We are going to look out for the zones with the strongest buyers and sellers and to see where the market is likely going to reverse and where the market is likely going to pull to. So right here on USD JPY, we can see that last week at the high, at this exact high here, we have a bullish candle at this resistance, which signifies that the sellers are what? It signifies that the sellers are very, very, very in danger, because the buyers closed in on this exact highs, which signifies that the sellers are in danger. And what is likely going to happen is that whenever price gets to these zones, the sellers are going to try to push price further. That is if price pulls right to this zone. So the resistance of the sellers right here is going to be quite strong. Nevertheless, at this zone, it also signifies that the buyers are in danger, as the sellers closed in a sell candle right here, what attempting to dominate this trend to the downside. However, right here we can see that immediately price breaks this zone, we can see the buyers attempting to push price up. So let us go to the 1 hour. Right here we can see the buyers printed out an engulfing pattern, and we can see this indecision candle before price moves up. So here we have an accumulation and manipulation, and likely going to be having a distribution to the upside on USD JPY. On USD CHF, you can also see a similar pattern to USD JPY, as you can see that last week. You can see right here. However, preferably we want a sell candle at this low, or we even have it right here. We have a sell candle at this low. So you can see what happened. The buyers are attempting to push price up. And let's just go to the 1 hour. You can also see an engulfing pattern printed out by the buyers, as the buyers are attempting to switch dominance away from the sellers. However, on the high, what do we have? We have a bullish candle in the high of last week at this level, 0.83659. So we'll be expecting a resistance from the seller here, as this level 0.82045 was broken. We can see the buyers attempting to push price up. So likewise on USD JPY as well, at this level up, we'll be expecting the buyers to push price up. So let's check Euro USD. On Euro USD, we can see that at this exact high, you can see liquidity being taken out. However, we have more than 3 candles closing above here, so we are not going to be considering this high. And this low here, we have a buy candle at this low, which is not so preferable. So we are not looking out for much this week on Euro USD. On AUD USD, we are also not looking for so much, as we're expecting price to retrace down for this for the buyers to push price further up, as the buyers are in grave danger here, because you have a sell candle closing in here, and the sellers here we have a sell candle closing in here, and the buyers here would want to attempt to push price up. The buyers here will not want price to break this level. So if price breaks this level, we will have a reinforcement from the buyers to push price up, if not more than 2 candle closes. So right here we can see on AUD JPY, this is a beautiful pair to look out for. The high, we have a bullish candle. The low, we have a sell candle. So seeing this bullish candle here, and the sellers closed in on the buyers, if price drops to this zone, we will have the sellers attempting to reinforce to push price further down. And this low, having a sell candle here, if price breaks below this line, we'll have the buyers attempting to push price up, as both parties are establishing their dominance in the highs and the lows. So right here on NZD USD, you can see we already have more than 2 candles closing above, so we are not going to be looking out for this. And at this low we don't have a sell candle, so this pair is not of much interest this week. Euro JPY, at the low here we have a point of interest here. We expect price to break this zone, as the buyers would want to push price up if price breaks this zone, because the sellers establish their dominance within this particular candle and the sellers are pushing price up. So if price drops to this zone and breaks it, be expecting a buy up if all rules are met. Right here we don't have much interest on GBP USD. Yeah, on USD card, I already marked this out yesterday, as we have a sell candle here. So the buyers want to push price up, and we have just 1-2 candle closing, and you can see how price is already moving up. And this high, if price gets to this high, we expect the sellers to push price down, as the buyers establish their dominance in this particular high. So on gold, we expect price to come to this level and go up. That's what we expect on gold. We expect price to break this level and move up. And on this we don't have much interest at this low, as we don't have a sell candle closing at this exact low. And this high, although we can expect this high to be raided and for price to push down, as we have a buy candle at this high. On GJ, at this low and the high, this is also a beautiful pair we can look out for this week, as we have the buyers in the high, we have the sellers. We have a buy candle closing in on this high and a sell candle closing on this low. So on the 4-hour chart, if price breaks this with no more than 2 candles closing above, we expect the GJ to ride down, and if price breaks this down, we expect price to ride up as well. On USD CNH, I marked this and you can see price broke this zone and you can see price pushing up. So if price drops to this high and breaks it, we expect price to push down as well. As support and resistance, they are just like rubber band. They push price to the opposing direction whenever price breaks them. So let's check out DXY to conclude this. So right here on DXY, we are no longer looking out for this, as we have more than 2 candles closing below last week's low. 1 close, 2 close, 3 close. So this low is not of interest. However, we can look out for the high. We can look out for this resistance, as we have the buyers in this resistance. So if price buys to this zone, we can expect price to pull further down. If price buys and breaks this zone, that's 100.442, we can expect price to give a pattern to sell down. That's if no more than 2 candles close above here. Plan your trade, trade your plan, and most importantly, manage your risk and emotions. If you find this useful, like, share, subscribe, and follow for more.